Hello, I am Brother Kelly Hughes, Chaplain of the Arts. We are broadcasting from the Valiant Theatre here in the heart of Winnipeg's greasy Tenderloin district, just around the corner from Old Market Square, where all the fabulous, fun Fringe Festival stuff is happening. I didn't mean to do so much alliteration, that just happened. This is Kelly Hughes Live Shorts, Fringe 2025. Thanks so much for joining us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, or if you're listening on UMFM 101.5. Thank you so much for stopping by. Fringe Madness continues, and I am here with the cast and creators of Finding Richard Close. Or is it Finding Richard Close?
Well, these are our Finding Richard Close.
Yes. Oh,
it is close.
Look at that. Boom, boom, boom.
It was the topic of debate.
It
is
was
it close
on
or close? And it is close unless we come up with merchandise for
It's
next
close.
round through Fringe.
We are speaking with actor and playwright Lisa Habermehl. We have got Dylan Shumka-White, director, and also actor, and Derek Favreau, who is a no hyphenate. He's just the actor.
That's right.
Just a piece of meat.
That's
You just tell him what to do, where to go, and
Just the talent.
Just direct me.
yeah.
That's
That's nice. It's freeing, isn't it?
It is, certainly.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, you don't have to worry about everything like these two.
Well.
It it is. This will not be up by the time your today's show is on, but you've got a show at 2:45 today, and then Monday the 21st, 8:15 is the next one. This is Venue 10, University of Winnipeg, Asper Center, which is nice. Nice proper
Beautiful
theater,
spot.
and it's
Beautiful.
air conditioned, and it's
Yes.
So you three are all from Kenora. Are you the entirety of the Kenora theater community, or is there more?
That's a great question.
Finally, good question.
yeah.
It only took me 3 minutes. It's good.
It's very small.
Yeah. I have a friend. The reason I ask is because I have a friend who's a playwright who lives in Fort Francis, and it's just hard when you're in a small place, and I spent a lot of time in Kenora growing up, and it's blue collar and not really. I think I know there's more sort of now than there used to be, because I had a friend who was involved with it. Isn't there there's a nice gallery?
Yeah, there's the beautiful museum there, and the
art gallery too.
and the art gallery. And I will say there actually is maybe a quiescent but fairly large arts community, which I'm not born in Kenora, so I had to learn about Kenora.
Yeah.
And there's a concert series, and we've been fortunate enough, our initial connection and continued connection is through a community theater called Trilight Theater, which then sort of spun off this crazy group. So I would say the arts community is also growing, and all ages, I would say too, which is kind of the cool thing. Everything from the young kids. Trilight did Annie a few years ago with the kids, all the way up to having folks like myself who are not under 30.
Quiescent's kind of a $5 word, eh? Like, we know you're the playwright. You don't have to flag. It's all good. Just chill
I
out.
practiced this morning. I was like, ruminate.
Yes.
Quiescence.
So where are you from then, if you didn't?
So I was born in Southern Ontario.
Yeah.
I say Toronto for those who don't know the region, but technically it was Cambridge, so like an hour away from Toronto. And then, but I've been in Northern Ontario for over half my life now. So I consider myself a Northern Ontario person, whatever that might mean to everyone.
Yeah. Well, but it must have been a bit of culture shock.
Yeah, I'm still adjusting to the phrases. For example, like in Southern Ontario, they're cottages. In Kenora, they're camps. What are they in Winnipeg?
I don't know. You maybe. Well, okay. Sorry. Tell me what they are in Southern Ontario.
So cottages would be the word that Southern Ontario would use.
Yeah, I don't know, because we did have a place. We had a place in Kenora, and we would usually call it the cottage. Maybe here people say cabin here. I don't know,
Okay.
but we would say cottage. I mean, I've heard people say camp. We never really called it camp. We always just called it the cottage, and or I mean, it was on an island, so call it the island.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And because camp sometimes brings to mind like the tourist fishing camps,
Yes.
for example.
Yeah,
So-
like camp. When you say camp, like I kind of think of like B'nai B'rith or like the
Yeah.
Anglican summer
Yeah.
camp. That's what I think
Right.
of. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Did anybody go to the Anglican summer camp? Did you grow
I-
up there?
I actually still run a summer camp for kids 8 to 12 years old through
Okay.
our church,
Yeah.
but it's at Longbow Lake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It would have been really cool if you said you ran the Anglican summer
No,
camp.
yeah.
That would be,
A coincidence, I know.
yeah,
Yes, it would be.
yeah. So are you like? Are we not in the middle of camp season?
We only
Like-
run it for 1 week because the camp,
Okay.
we don't own the camp. We just rent our week and then
Yeah.
they run it for the rest of the summer. So our camp is already over. thank
Okay.
goodness. Yeah.
How'd it go?
Good. Very well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good weather, good kids, good time.
So this pranks still don't people don't do pranks still?
yeah, no, pranks are pretty much outlawed now because they escalate.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's one of our rules right off the
Yeah.
bat that there's no pranking because
Yeah.
kids can sometimes get out of control if you let them.
Yeah.
And Derek was running a camp, 2 weeks before we were coming
Yes.
here. So
We've
the
had some
juggling multiple things.
disruptions,
Maybe
yeah.
we should have included that on the program, actually.
What?
Actor, camp director,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right. I
He
get my
does-
hyphen then.
prank ruiner.
It
Ruiner
does
of
seem a bit like
pranks.
Lisa. You've got like 4 things after your name, and like Dylan's got 5 things after
And then-
his name,
yeah.
6 things plus like a hyphenated name. So it's kind of like I don't know.
It's not fair.
And then Derek's just Teddy.
Yeah. I know.
Teddy doesn't even have a last name.
No.
Teddy is just Teddy. And this is not even he's not even Richard Close.
I know.
That
Who
does
is
beg the
Richard?
question: who is
Who is
Richard
that?
Close?
Here we
I
go.
think I don't know anything about it, but I think it's actually Teddy.
Well, there are only
We're taking bets.
throw your dollar in the pool, sir.
What's the show about?
Oh, this is the elevator pitch we've been talking about.
Yeah.
You guys want to stick handle this
Oh
one?
my gosh. It's
20
it's-
minute, 20-second
it's
elevator
hard.
pitch.
It's really hard. You don't realize, when you come to Winnipeg Fringe, you're marketing yourself, you're performing, you're doing all the things.
What did you think was going to happen?
I don't know. I didn't.
Oh.
I've
First
been in-
time Fringer here.
Yeah.
No
Yeah,
idea.
first time. I've been to Hamilton Fringe and Toronto Fringe, but that was many, many years ago, and
Yeah.
so it's like resharpening the pencil. Finding Richard Close. Finding Richard Close is a show about an estranged brother and sister who have to meet at their mother's in their mother's final days here on this plane, and she sends her 2 children, who again have not seen each other in about 30 years, on a wild goose chase to find Richard Close. So we don't really know who Richard Close is. We don't know what his relation is with Mother. We don't know what his relationship is to Marin and Ethan, the 2 main characters. And then Teddy, who is played by the lovely Mr. Derek Favreau, is Marin's very supportive husband, who kind of acts as her guide and kind of her rock through the whole situation, really helps do the research and like does all of that behind the scenes work so that Marin can focus on her relationship with her brother and really trying to find Richard Close so that she can just get out of there, because she doesn't have a good relationship with her mother, whereas Ethan has lived with his mother his whole life. He's probably in his 30s or 40s, and so has a very close connection. And so it's this dichotomous relationship where Marin doesn't care about the mother, but Ethan cares deeply about her. And so how do those 2 ships meet, and what happens kind of in the middle? And it's very moving. I play all of the comic relief characters, so there are 4. I play 4 separate characters in the show, and so there's moments of levity. It's definitely sprinkled with a lot of moments of levity, but it also dives into some pretty deep themes. So really doing a true justice to the genre of dramedy.
Dylan, do you care about your mother?
Uh,
If you want the answer, if you're watching this on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, I'm giving him a chance to think here. This reel is about to end, so go over to our YouTube channel, which is inexplicably at the Valiant Theater 1761. Watch the rest of it. There's a whole playlist of all the interviews that we've got up, and check that out. And lots more to come. Thank you. Okay, you care about your mother?
Of
Bill?
course.
Yeah.
Of course I care about my mother.
I am. Lots of us have complicated relationships with our mothers,
Absolutely.
and my mom is 95, and is got not dementia, but something in that kind of family, and she broke her leg a few weeks ago, and she's been in the hospital and sort of getting worse, and but it's kind of it's just tough, because I've got siblings, so and most of them live here, so people have been trying to make sure that she doesn't know where she is, right? So people are trying to make sure that there's people there. We're trying to get her moved. We're trying to get her paneled and moved into a personal care home because she's been living somewhere else. But I kind of like, even though she doesn't, even though she's not as sharp as she used to be, and she doesn't do those things that she used to do. I mean, when I go see her, I'm kind of still sitting there expecting her to do the weird passive aggressive things that she used to do, or the weird, you know what I mean? I'm kind of on edge. I'm kind of like just waiting for it. But even if it doesn't happen, I've been sitting there kind of waiting for it. And I find it very sort of emotionally exhausting. So I think, I just think we all have, lots of us have, except for you, of course you love your mother and it's wonderful, but lots of us have fraught relationships. There's no biography in here. This is not.
So there is actually.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. So certainly there's some personal touches in this and things that I think we've all experienced. Partly, I also work in healthcare.
Oh yeah.
So as a physician, having watched lots of and been through these things with folks and like picked up on the nostalgia when it bubbles to the surface towards end of life, the regrets that come forward, everything from do I go into the room to say goodbye, and I'm not coming, or I am coming, or we always talk about the nephew from California who comes in at the last minute and wants everything done differently. So while this is certainly not a story of anyone, it is a story of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully I feel like it touches experiences all of us have had, thinking about what are the patterns, maybe not even consciously thinking about, but the patterns that develop in our lifetime, and waiting for them to bubble up, and do they settle, or are they always there?
Mm-hmm.
Are we always the same people? Wow, this sounds like a really heavy show when I say it.
Sounds like a bummer.
I do think that there's an element of this realization, though, that we're all just people in this show too. That perception is important, and that everybody tries their best in their life, and their circumstances sometimes dictate the way things go. And I think there's a real element of that in this as well.
Mm-hmm. So you're a doctor?
I am.
How come you didn't insist on being called doctor and he wanted to be called Mr.? Like that? That's a bit.
This is sort of an attempt to fly under the radar and try something different. So I see it, as I said earlier, this is my first Fringe experience, Derek's first.
So you're just not busy enough. They're not keeping you busy enough, and you're like, I got to do something else. I got to go into theater.
It actually required some downshifting of. Unfortunately, I apologize to everybody who may have been impacted by that.
They're not watching. They're all dead.
And it's my fault.
It is your fault.
It's this play's fault. This is an homage to all of you.
You can't make theater without breaking a few eggs. That's what I said. But you had to kind of change your shift gears. You had to change your
and set aside time very specifically for this, and learned lots of new things alongside these guys, and I have to mention our production manager Courtney Stoles, who's been incredible, and again learning stuff along with us. So even reading the documents for Fringe, what you can do, where you can put your posters, all those sorts of things. So I love learning new things, and this is such a great group of people to learn alongside with, this base of trust that we have that I don't know how to explain it, but we're like some weird family. Is that to start with? And it's and this, I mean, somebody can tell the story of how we stumbled into this, but it was sort of like I said, well, if we were to get in the Fringe lottery, anybody want to do a show? Sure, yeah. And then we got in, and you have to like make up a theater company name and all that sort of stuff. So
that had to be the easiest part, though, right?
yeah. And
Yeah.
and to get into the lottery and go, oh, we're in.
And what's the first thing we said was, I guess we're doing this.
Yeah.
So that's the name of our theater company.
Yeah.
So I guess
Yeah.
we're doing this.
Okay. So I guess we're doing this. Had you written a play before?
So I'm fairly new at it, I would say within the last year. I did have one 10-minute play that was on at Magnus Theatre in Thunder Bay, presented by Magnus Theatre in Education.
Yeah.
So interestingly, also on a similar theme of life phases. But this is really number 3 that I've even attempted to write. So, and
did you ask anybody to look at it as you were doing it, or you just knew it was good? Or?
Oh, I don't know that it's good.
The reviews aren't in yet.
The debate of do you look at the reviews or not, but that's a whole other.
I would say you could blame the actors, but I think you're one of the actors. So.
Yeah. So we sort of, there was like a shell, I would say, of an outline, but very much the freedom. You guys get to know these characters. I am not married to any of the words. It was like a couple of pauses that I felt sort of strongly needed to be in, but otherwise, I was happy to see how things move through, and it'd be interesting to see how far we are off what was the original script to now.
I think like also the cast is really well. I mean, we cast our friends, but and no, we didn't host auditions.
No auditions.
But it was like the characters were written for us. You know, Lisa really excels in a dramatic role. She's just very, very good at it. So I think Derek plays a very good straight man. Like not like
he looks straight.
Yeah. But he plays a very, even keel straight, like level-headed man.
Camp director.
That's it.
Camp director.
Yeah. Imagine.
Johnny Grech is our other. He plays Ethan, and he has a very, he's just got energy, and seeing him on stage is really.
Johnny Grech sounds like a name for a hustler.
Yeah, there you go.
You want some money? Go to Johnny Grech.
One of those really cheap commercials, like late night commercials. And then myself, I love playing a comic relief character. I have kind of vignettes in the show. I come in when we're like, audience, we don't want to lose you, so I come in and kind of inject some energy into the show, kind of distract the audience from. Like you're saying, it kind of sounds like a downer, and there are moments where it does get kind of down, and so I come in and like say, okay, we don't want to lose you here, and then we go back to the main plot. So I think it's just really well cast, and we all have worked together in varying roles and varying shows, and this is kind of our opportunity to see in all of those separate shows that we've done, can we actually all work together? And we have proven that we are very effective at it.
You open that Thursday, 10 p.m. Yeah. Late show for Winnipeg.
We had an audience, and that's all we cared about.
So you got through your first show. You didn't shit the bed. Everything was all right. So you're ready for today.
Oh, we're excited about today. Absolutely. Definitely. And yesterday I got to see some of the other shows, which was fabulous because this was like I had never been. Yeah. So we are revved and ready to go. We're all staying in the same Airbnb, which is fun, right? So the morning we get up, we're like, what are we doing today?
You're like the weird family.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Have you now? You've lived in Kenora your whole life.
Yes.
And you're probably like, around my age. Do you remember Bianca's attic?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do. Yes.
There was a thrift store that was in the second floor of whatever the building is across from the chip truck, I think. I think it was somewhere up on the second floor.
Yeah. I do remember. Yes.
Yeah. We used to buy like the best stuff there.
Yeah.
And like me and my brother bought matching shorts, these red shorts, and said property of whatever school, and you'd write your name on there.
Yeah.
And so, and he was 15 years older than me, and he was big and lanky, and I was kind of smaller and like this. And so we had Mongo 1 and Mongo 2 on our, and Mongo is a character from, can't remember what movie, but, and then also I got like this great shirt that was like a polyester, like psychedelic. it was when it was fine to wear like a totally polyester shirt. It was
certainly.
different times.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway,
You just did exactly the Kenora thing, because they'll be like, you know,
Yeah.
the one behind the old
Yeah.
Pepsi
It's not there. It's
factory,
not there anymore.
or
but-
right
Yeah.
beside Mrs. So and so's house. And I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah.
And my in-laws and my husband are all from there, so I have to rely on them and
Yes.
folks like you guys to untangle where are we talking about?
Yeah, our apologies
exactly?
for when we give directions in Kenora,
Yeah.
for sure. You can just go left and then right, and then no
Yeah.
street names.
So you've
Wow.
clearly spent time in
Yeah.
Kenora.
yeah. No, my grandfather actually built a cottage in 1943 on an island, and so my family is all still out there, and I stopped going several years ago for various reasons. One of which is, I don't think they'll watch this. One of which is my partner can't stand my family, but you know how that goes. But it was interesting because it was like the summer residents, and the like years ago, like Kenora didn't used to be very friendly to the people. Like every summer, the population would double,
At least, yeah.
and then the people that lived there were mad about all the cottagers and all
It
these
hasn't
people.
changed.
But it was just kind of, I mean, in the summer they contribute to the economy
Of
and
course.
all that kind of stuff, and even you can pay your school taxes out there, like even if you're not, you know. So it was always kind of an interesting thing, and it was interesting for me growing up. Growing up in a regular kind of casually racist white family, and being in being so close to the res, and that was kind of interesting. I mean, it's interesting, that whole juxtaposition of everything, like the golf club right there, right on the right as on the road out of the res, and then the when Kenora has been part of it is this like real white blue collar kind of town, and then you've got kind of this other part of things. So it's an interesting I just think it's a very interesting dynamic, and it's a very interesting place. Do you think you'd ever write something more Kenora centric?
There's some we've actually talked about this to some extent in terms of what does community theater look like, theater with the vulnerable folks, those sorts of things, and how do you tell a story? Because I think that art brings change, and Kenora is changing and evolving, I have to say, and so maybe something like the theater where you're taking verbatim theater, something like that. There might be some very interesting stories. Also complicated, right? As you said, how do you tell a story but keep it anonymous and not hurt people's feelings, but stay close to the truth or a story? So there's lots of, Mather Wall's house I've thought about would be a fun place to do a site-specific theater, right? And those sorts of things. So it's something we're really exploring. I think we're gonna get the chance to run the show in Kenora as well. And there's not a lot of summer theater in Kenora, so it'll be a bit of an experiment too for us to see about, again, when people come to visit, because it's such a beautiful place, how do we engage them and make sure people feel welcome and get to do things they like to do?
It's interesting because I in my intro I said that we were Winnipeg's greasy tenderloin. I mean, we are like right, Skid Row is just right over there and around here and through here. And yesterday I opened the door here, and somebody left a bunch of garbage at the door, and one of the things was a planter, which was fine, but then somebody had taken a shit in it. And I thought, well, the first thing I thought was, oh well, at least they shit in something I can throw away, and they didn't shit right on the ground, because that's worse.
Right.
And my hose doesn't reach over here, because we've been here for a while. So that's what I'm thinking, right? I'm thinking, oh great,
The best of the worst.
yeah. So it is interesting that there's all this creative stuff and all this art stuff like happening right here, and then there's literally like people living in tents over here and here and here, and that's all. We've been here for a while now in this space, and those are all things that are interesting to me, because this building that we're in, we're turning into a performance space called the Valiant Theater, and our slogan. We've got all our shirts and stuff over there. Our slogan is "Art will save us all," and kind of like what you're saying.
So.
And but I did mine first, so
You can have it. You can have the title.
and and for me, one of the questions and one of the things that I ask myself is how can we include everybody in that? How can we think about who is part of our community, and maybe it's a little bit bigger than we sometimes think it is, because I've done now since we started interviews, maybe interviewed, I don't know what I'm at now, 30-ish people, and I think everybody's been white, like, and that's like a Fringe, is full of white people. So there's just lots of interesting things. It's not your fault you're white, but it's interesting. Or maybe you're not white. I don't know, but you look white. But
my last name's literally White.
So. Well, you just never know, because it turns out my partner turns out their grandmother was Métis, but didn't talk about it, and nobody talked about it because it was not. You just didn't talk about it because there was no upside to it, right? So you just, if you looked like you could fit in, you fit in.
Right.
I love that you're doing that. And interestingly, Johnny Greck, who's also a physician, and I did a class in drama therapy and looking at using drama as actually a mechanism for healing for an individual patient. And then you think about what is the extension of that? We all have stories to tell, and they're all very valid, and we can learn from them. This sense of community and team building that comes from theater, and especially in such a beautiful place like this. I'm so excited for you.
Dr. Johnny Greck, doesn't that sound like a DJ?
He will be thrilled to hear that.
I wish he was here.
Yes, he would. Yeah.
Dr. Johnny Greck, we wish you were here. The show is Finding Richard Close. It is happening at Venue 10, University of Winnipeg, Asper Center, which is a lovely theater. And there is a show Monday at 8:15, which is probably the next one you'll have access to when this is up on the internet. Talking to playwright Lisa Habermehl, who, if you get one of these, do you get one of these when you go to the show?
No, because they cost a fortune.
They cost a lot. But if you had one of these, you can see that she looks like a real estate agent, but she's not. And we're talking to Dylan Shumka-White, who is the director and who's also one of the actors. And I don't know, you've got like hair in here. Are you completely bald or what?
Well, yeah, that's why I wore the hat.
So is this a wig? Because it looks a little bit like maybe it's a wig.
We don't have to talk about it.
Okay. and then Derek Favreau, the Silver Fox, who, has got a beautiful full head of hair.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
Like,
I can't help that.
I'm envious.
You can ask if you can touch it.
Yeah.
I will maybe. Well, you know what? You did say there were the harassment guidelines.
Yeah.
What did you have to sign? The safe space.
The safe space thing.
Yeah.
But you can ask, and then it's true. Consent and all that stuff. We will do it off camera, just in case.
So here it is. Check it out. They are lovely folks. They are from Kenora, and it's the first time here. You should go see something that folks you haven't seen before, and you should go see some folks that haven't been here, because who knows, they might be great, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you so much. Art will save us all.